The Gunners, Arsenal are back to Eberechi Eze. Chelsea to still continue their clear out. Latest out is Renato Vega. The likes of Raheem Sterling are all in this transfer saga. Alexander Isak situation with Newcastle United still continues as the player speak out loud. Jadon Sancho rejected a bid from Roma. There are still news coming on, and if you just join us and you are new, remember this is Ashili Sports. Hit the subscription button, like and share the video. With me today is Ima. Let's go. Jack. Ima, today's transfer window has been like surprising and all stories cropping up. First of all, how do you feel the Ghana's Arsenal coming back into Eberechi Eze? To my understanding, Kai Havertz injury prompted them to go back to Eberechi. He agreed personal terms with Tottenham, and club also agreed some terms with Tottenham as well. That is Crystal Palace. But now it looks like Arsenal coming back into the deal will make the player switch his desire to join Tottenham. What do you make up of that deal?
Yeah, I think initially concerning Eberechi Eze's deal, Arsenal were the team that came up first when he was being linked to a club. He was linked to Arsenal before any other club. But along the line, I think they lost interest and they pulled out. Tottenham also came in very strong. Just last 2 days we were discussing it, and I was like, if he's to move to Tottenham Hotspurs, they'll get a very formidable side. Today, the news coming up is that after Kai Havertz's injury and the assessments and everything, Arsenal are back, in talking terms with Crystal Palace concerning the signing of Eberechi. And I think it's a good move. It's a good move for Arsenal, and I feel like they should close this deal as soon as possible. If they are to sign the player, maybe by the close of this week, they should finalize everything with Crystal Palace. Yeah, it's a very good move from Arsenal.
It's a very good move from Arsenal. On your screen right now, probably we have the player in there, and hey, one thing that you need to understand is this is from Florian Plattenberg from German Sky Sports reporting this. Arsenal now in negotiation with Crystal Palace. So Kai Havertz injury from them to go into this deal. But do you think as a player, would you have gone back, like if Arsenal come back or a team that has showed interest earlier want to snatch you from another club, would you have agreed with them before?
Yeah, it all boils down to the player in question or the player who is involved in this whole transfer saga. I feel like Eberechi Eze has to make a stance and weighing the options between the two rivals, which is Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal. He feels like maybe Arsenal is the better choice for him. And sometimes some of these transfers, the club is involved, but mostly it depends on the player in question. If the player is to accept a bid from a club, you can't force him to move to another club. Then he will prefer to stay. So I feel like it's all comes down to Eberechi Eze's choice, and I think if he's to sign for Arsenal, that means he's chosen Arsenal over Tottenham Hotspur, and he's weighed, the options between Tottenham and Arsenal and the project that Arteta is doing and that of Thomas Frank's project. So yeah, it comes down to Eberechi Eze's choice.
Fabrizio Romano has also tweeted 44 minutes ago. Following talks tonight, Arsenal are convinced that Eberechi Eze prefers to join them over Tottenham. 60 million package offered to Palace with easier add-ons and faster payment terms to try beat Spurs. Negotiations underway. So of course, this is the moment we are. This is the situation we are. And then Eberechi Eze might be switching to Arsenal after it has confirmed that he was going to Tottenham. Now, moving on from Eberechi to Chelsea. Wow. With Chelsea negotiation this season has been absolutely incredible. Buying players a lower amount and then selling them into a profitable for themselves. For instance, Madueke, they bought him about 32 million and sold to Arsenal for about 48, 50 million. And now Renato Vega, who they bought just 12 million a year ago or 2 seasons. Oh no, it was a season ago. Right now, it's all 2 seasons ago. I can't quite remember. But right now, they are selling him to Villarreal. Just today, they just group up last night. And today, Villarreal's personal terms and the club terms have been agreed with 29.5 million add-ons included. And they also have sell on of 40% in that deal. What do you make up of that? Because Chelsea fans were thinking, "Oh, this player will be the replacement of Colwill because he also have that pace at back, can also give that passes that Colwill is doing. And now he's off to Valeria. What do you make up of that deal?
Yeah, I feel like they have players to offload. So yeah, and Renato Vega is one of those players that they want to sell. He's on the market, so definitely teams will approach. Well, let's hope that he's signing for Villarreal. Everything will go through. So he complete his medicals and everything, and they will announce him officially that he's a player of the Yellow Submarines. Yeah. So yeah, we are hoping to see that he will join Thomas Partey's side Villarreal, and he can continue his career from there. I think his chapter with Chelsea, as at this point, it's over or it's almost over. And we wish him well. We wish him well.
So Renato Vega off to Villarreal because he has been waiting for quite a long time. Clubs were interested, but never come strongly like Villarreal, and Chelsea have given out because a lot of profit for sure for them, and they probably go for themselves. Talking about Chelsea outgoings, Axel Disasi. We all thought Aston Villa was interested after him playing a loan deal last season with them. But it looks like Bournemouth have come in strongly for the player, Axel Disasi. Do you think it's a good deal for Bournemouth or Chelsea? Because the player might be going to Bournemouth instead of Aston Villa. We all knew that his loan deal was absolutely massive for Aston Villa, but Aston Villa never made a bid. Bournemouth are interested and they could just be moving to Axel Disasi right now. What do you make up of that as well?
Yeah, I think after 1 month of losing, I think four of their three of their back line, it is reasonable that they get a player, to fill those spaces, and they will need a centre back for sure because already Zabani has signed for Paris Saint-Germain, and Milos Kerkez has also signed for Crystal Palace, and now they've also signed. They've also Madrid have also signed Dean Huijsen. So yeah, they will need defenders for sure, and I feel like after playing the first game against Liverpool, maybe they feel like they need a centre back. And upon assessing everything and reflecting on what player they should get, maybe they just landed on Axel Disasi's choice, and maybe the coach feels like it is the best choice for them at the moment. So yeah, I feel like they need a centre back, and if for sure Axel Disasi's profile fits in their team, then they have to go in for him.
That means they have to go in for him, absolutely. And on your screen right now, Ben Jacob reported on this, and he said, according to Ben Jacob, Bournemouth exploring a move for Chelsea defender Axel Disasi. Chelsea prefer a permanent exit, but different formulas being discussed. So absolutely, Chelsea wants a permanent move. So let's see how that could be going on as well. But hey, the player is keen to move. Raheem Sterling as I have also been linked with Fulham. Fulham are considering Raheem Sterling as a winger. Do you think it's something that can come as expected
Yeah,
as
for
part
sure.
of
Some
Chelsea
of these.
clear out?
Yeah, it's for sure because now looking at the team that Chelsea is building, I don't think Raheem Sterling is part of the project. So for sure they will offload him, and I feel like some of these late transfer rumors and signings will definitely take place because we are getting to the final weeks of the transfer window. So definitely teams will be rushing to get some players in their team and everything. Yeah, I think Fulham, Chelsea, Fulham. It's possible Raheem Sterling can play for them. It's possible. We can't rule that one out. Maybe they've already finished. They've already even agreed on the personal terms and everything. I don't think it will be much of a problem because Raheem Sterling himself knows that he's not part of Chelsea's project. So if any move comes and he feels like it's okay for him, yeah, for sure he will take it.
Chukwuemeka as well is like clubs from Italy are really interested because it looks like Dortmund are not trying to go for the permanent deal Chelsea is requesting. Do you think it could be something that Chukwuemeka will be moving away from Chelsea as well?
Yeah, for sure. Because looking at the team, there are so many players in Chelsea that I don't think they fit in Enzo Maresca's project. So definitely they'll be offloading all those players. And Chukwuemeka isn't, a typical member of this Enzo Maresca's team. So definitely, if he's being linked to other teams, then for sure he's like 100% sure that he's moving to that club because you can't just sit on the bench. You also have a career. You also have, dreams that you want to achieve in the world of football. So sometimes it's better you take those opportunities and move on with your career. So I feel like, yeah, if Kali Chukwuemeka is also linked that to other teams that he wants to move from Chelsea, yeah, for sure. He has to take the move as soon as possible and, go and continue his career elsewhere.
And Chelsea still in pursuit of Javi Simon. According to Fabrizio, it's almost 85% completed. And then Jadon Sancho, they are still in talks with Jadon Sancho, Manchester United for Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho stays either Chelsea or he stay Manchester United till his contract expire. Information still coming out as this. Now let's move to Isak's situation in Newcastle United. As at this moment, Isak have verbally come out to say that he has disappointed with Newcastle United. It's like the agreement he had with them, he didn't source. And Newcastle United have replied that they still have contract with them for 3 years. Liverpool are not meeting the conditions they set up for him. This situation, do you think he can still go to Liverpool or he will stay with Newcastle till next season?
Yeah, after last season performance that he gave to the team and, qualifying them to the Champions League, for me, I felt like he was going to stay. But just last night, I saw, I think, a statement from his camp that he's disappointed in the management and the board for breaking promises and other things. And right after that, Newcastle also released a statement to counter whatever he said. So I think now it's more of like a misunderstanding between the two parties. And when it gets to that stage, it becomes very difficult for the player, not the club, because the player is under contract. You get it. For the club, they can take any decision. They can let you even sit on the bench and run all your contracts before they let you move, which will affect you, the player. So sometimes when they're dealing with such situations, you have to be very careful. So I feel like Isak has to, lower his stance on this issue and come, on the table, sit down with the team and, have a proper discussion with them. Sometimes these attitudes from players also make the teams, stubborn a bit. When you go to them and you make them understand that you are not like being arrogant, you are not being like selfish. You also think about the club and everything. They're also humans. They will sit down with you and you guys will just find a common grounds and settle this whole thing because we can drag this whole thing till the close of this transfer window and it will not affect the Newcastle. It will rather affect Alexander Isak's career because looking at the way this thing is going, I don't think even if he's to come back to the team, the players will be happy with his attitude. So I feel like Newcastle have to just talk to the player or his management have to talk to him that, boy, it is about your career. You can go back and forth with them, but you've already put a pen on the paper to sign a contract. So sometimes you have to calm down, work your way through things and get what you want. If you want to go to Liverpool, you sit down with Newcastle, let them understand that this is the situation. If some promises are broken, it is between you and the club, not between you and the fans. You don't have to bring some of these things out during this moment. It's just, fuels the whole lot of chaos in the team. Right now, Newcastle are not in the place of, discussing such issues. They've already started the league games and they are concentrating on the league. And you just bring this in to just distract the team. So I feel like, yeah, it is not right from the players' camp.
Yeah, it's not right from the players' camp. But then Jadon Sancho also rejected a move to Roma. Roma have actually agreed terms with Manchester United with 20 million. And then Jadon Sancho is waiting for a club which will match his salary to actually move. He's come contacted Roma that they will not be or they will not be agreeing to their terms of moving to Roma. Do you think he will probably get a club in England or maybe Dortmund will still go back to him?
Well, for me, I think the best trade for him is to go back to Germany. Yeah. I feel like the hype and everything around him that he came into the English Premier League, it's not there anymore. So if you want a place to go, revive your career or rekindle your career, I think the best place is where you started from. And when you go to Borussia Dortmund, you're a darling boy over there. They already love you over there, so it becomes very easy for you to get into this team. So I feel like it's better for him that he goes back to Borussia Dortmund and find his feet again and come back to the top that we used to know of JD Sancho.
And guys, today this is what we are supposed to discuss. And quick note, Tottenham are considering Richard Allison on top of him plus some cash to take Eberechi Eze. According to the information reaching me, maybe the possibility of him going to Arsenal is probably higher because if they are considering releasing Richard Allison, I don't think it's something that will happen, or maybe it has not yet approved yet, but that's just something that is coming out. And hey, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your time. And hey, we will see you in the next video when the transfer window is booming. Remember, the deadline is just by the corner and things are moving fast. So we could come to you at any time, knocking your door to watch the video. Ciao.